Lucky if I could, I heard they get rib mix the girls.
She be getting down. I'll be showing her though.
Hey, so Lucky,
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Y'all phones on mute?
What's on me right now, sir?
YouTube and Facebook. Come in a little tighter. Hey, shalom, everybody. Yahweh Bashim Yal Shai Barakatham, Yal Shemar Latham Bashim Yal Shai. It's the ISUPK, Southern California Sabbath service. We got special guests in the house. We got Arizona in the house, man. We got Priest and Officer Parak in the house, man. What's going on, that?
That's not correct.
You know what I mean? We got Trooper Kabada Math in the house. You see? We're going to rock it out, man. Brothers traveled a long way to hold the Sabbath of the Lord with your brothers this week. It's good to have brothers here. We got a good topic. We got a really good topic in store for Israel. We're going to be talking about patience. We're going to be going into the account, I don't want to say, that's not wrong to say story, but I don't like saying it. The account of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. You see? And if you're not aware, Jacob is the father of the Israelites. Hence, house of Jacob. Right. You see?
Right.
So we're gonna talk about the house of Jacob. We're gonna talk about our origins, if you will. Right, Azam? And our, I don't want to say our mothers, but Jacob's wives, you see? His wives are Leah and Rachel, but we're going to go into the history of that and break that down in the scriptures, you see? Here you go, you good with the Syrian? All right, do your thing. So, I'm going to say, we're going to do the Sabbath service. Now, as we always do throughout the week, not throughout the week, as we read the Hebrew, we have a series of questions that we will present to Israel, you see? So, as we go through the Hebrew, as the brother reads the Hebrew, you'll have an opportunity to to interact with the class with this different series of questions just to make sure you're in your game, you know? So, I'm gonna say, all right, Maju, just me and the brother up here. Kabadamouth, present thyself. So right here. So you go behind the wire, just don't trip over the wire. All right, so you wanna go Amijam? No, Amijam? Okay. Amijam Shabbat. Right foot. Boom. Amijam. So you wanna go. No, you're doing good, let me show you. So, Major, right foot out, Major Shabbat. Right foot in, Major, rock, and then you state your registry.
Kabada Math Ban Yahawada Ban Yasharala.
Kabada Math, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharala. You salute us.
Shalom Yahba Shim Yahshabrakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yahshabrakatah. Come on up back on the right side. From your right. Right. Sorry, face me. Sorry. So you extend and you say La Yasharala,
La Yasharala.
which means to Israel. See? Go ahead. You drink it all. Oh, shy. All right. Sorry, face me. Water. Sorry. Uncover these scrolls. Hold that for me out. Hand it to this brother over his right shoulder. All right. Ma'yu Wapinya Kudum, which means to stand and face the east, not to Zach. Let me see those. Come on. I'm gonna have a priest group work out with these. All right. Turn and face the east. Ma'yu Wapinya Kudum means to stand, face the east. Everybody will stand, face the east. Sisters, have your head covered. You see, even in the comfort of your home. You understand? So let's do these prayers, all right? Slack it. Get a little tighter, Kabad. All right, we're gonna do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, all right? And then Paraki will do it in English, okay? Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Taba'ah, Atazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Delanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Masalakhlanawa, Kabawafnawa, Kabawatinawa, Kabiyanawa, Messiah, Ball, Awashai now. Ayun, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa, Allah, Para, Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak or the power. Hakak means the power. Yahweh. Hashem. Yahushua. Baruch Delanawa. Hakak. Rapah. Call. Makalah. Hakak. Matahar. Matazarayim. Hakak. Hamatyum. Hakak. Ayel. Rakawath. Tamala. Garashan. Bashum. Yahushua. Water. Amen.
The cosmic power in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name of Yahweh Shah.
The name of Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
The blessings in Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Wamiyak Allah,
Wamiyak Allah,
Allahayim,
Allahayim,
Tazab Ya'ah,
Tazab Ya'ah,
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana,
Ha'alawapyim,
Ha'alawapyim,
Ha'suranyim,
Ha'suranyim,
Ha'kwatazayanyim,
Ha'kwatazayanyim,
Ha'yayoyim,
Ha'yayoyim,
Waha'akwatyim,
Waha'akwatyim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
the water, Amen.
Amen.
These are the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121. In the Hebrew, Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayimya,
Ayimya,
All, Aharyim,
Aharyim,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Gaba'ah,
Gaba'ah,
Isaiah,
Isaiah, Isaiah,
Ma'ai,
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Ratazah,
Ratazah,
Al,
Yathan,
Yathan, Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Galka, Al, Yanawam, Shamarka, Kana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Yad, Yimka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Layala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Call, Rai, Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Azka, Wa'aka, I will
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes.
I will lift up my eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel.
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
All, Yamaya,
Yamaya,
Laka, All, Bakarat,
Bakarat,
All, Shakwat,
Shakwat,
All, Kaya,
Hana,
Hana, Awyibika,
Awyibika,
Hamayawan, Ra'ash,
Al,
Amaka, Ironwa, Sawada, Ayata, Tazawa, Tazapunyika, Amarawa, Nakakina, Goya, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Kaya, Nawa, Tazawa, Baba, Kadwa, Al-Yaka, Barya, Akarath, Adawam, Wa, Yashmalim, Hagarium, Ball, Malat, Halashab, Amyashab, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Alawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarwa, Labunya, Lawat, Salah. Aisha, Laham, Kamudyan, Sayah, Sarah, Kayabyan, Manakal, Yashwan, Shamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Shayatumwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazaba, Katazal, Manai, Call, Sayakumwa, Ashar, Marwa, Irasha, Nawa, Nawa, Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Sayadamwa,
Sayadamwa,
Gogala,
Gogala,
Kwash,
Kakwash,
Panya,
Raka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Ira,
Ira,
Ira, Wa,
Wa,
Kahalaba,
Kahalaba,
Walahat,
Haryam,
Kun,
Garadapma,
Irika,
Wabasa,
Paska, Bahalam,
Bahalam,
Malaa, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Bashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Aya, Waya, Parwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Kaya, Shamka, Yahweh, Badka, Al Yawan, Al Kal, Al Rataza.
In Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
thine
thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their
They
heads.
have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thine hidden one.
And consulted against thy hidden
They have
ones.
said.
They have said,
Come. Let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may be no more remembered.
That the name of Israel may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one
They
consent.
are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And Agarim.
And Agarim.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished that endured.
Which perished that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zael.
And like Zael.
Yea. All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Zamunah.
And as Zamunah.
Who said.
Let
Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The house of God in possession.
The house of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy sword.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou.
That men may know that thou.
Whose name alone is
Whose name
Yahweh.
alone.
His name alone is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the
Do
earth.
that again. Whose name alone?
Come. Whose name alone.
Whose name alone
is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
All right, Sar facing. All right, Shabim, you may be seated. Give most high hand. All right. What we talked about last week? What did we go over last week? Not to Zach.
We went over Samuel and David, sir.
We went over Samuel and David.
Come.
What we go over about Samuel and David?
I would say pretty much the origin and the rise of both of them.
Okay, not the rise of Samuel. I mean, we did. That wasn't the premise of the lesson, but we talked about Samuel's upcoming, if you will. But we talked about how the Lord seeth not as man seeth, right?
Come.
So help me out. What happened?
Salaki, sir, if I may. So when Samuel was given the order by the Most High to anoint the new king of Israel, he went to Jesse?
Okay.
Jesse and his sons.
Who was Jesse?
The father of David.
Okay.
And when he went there, we got into the scriptures to see that the Most High doesn't see the way that we see.
Okay. What do you get from that though?
So when Samuel went, when he was looking for the new king, or to anoint the new king, Salakia, he was judging the brothers off of their physical appearance. How most brothers would do out in the world today. Like when you think of a king, you think of like a strong, a strong, mighty warrior. You know, like you say, might have like battle scars, all that. You know, he might be physically imposing, but when he went there and he started seeing all his sons, the Lord, the Most High was, like not him. So he asked Jesse, like, have you not, do you have any other sons that I have not seen? And he referred to David, who was tending the sheep. And when he went to go see David, it described David in the scriptures as ruddy, which if I remember would be, the description of that is red, but like he was lighter skinned brother.
Yeah.
And,
in contrast to the dark skinned Hebrew, right? Go ahead.
And it was the scriptures were describing him pretty much like he was a handsome brother, and I believe it was like he was easy to look upon. I'm not sure the exact.
He didn't look like someone who can.
He was like, for lack of a better term, like he was like a pretty boy, pretty much. But
okay.
Yeah, but so that
I don't know how David would feel about you saying that.
I don't know. I don't know. But he when Samuel went to go see him, and the Most High told him like that's the one. But the reason why was because he was after the Most High's own heart, because he was tending the sheep. And Salakia, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't one of his sheep go astray, and he like risked his life to save the sheep?
Yeah, I will say I don't know if it says one or how many sheep, but
I don't know.
the point is he
cared about the sheep.
Okay.
And pretty much what I was getting from that, the Most High wanted David to be anointed as the new king of Israel, because he showed the character of he cared for the sheep, and we are, as the nation of Israel, the Lord's sheep, and we needed a shepherd.
Right. Okay. All right. So recently we've been going into a lot of history, right? Y'all gave excellent responses. We've been going into a lot of history. We've been going into like King Hezekiah, King Manasseh, King Josiah. Who else? Ahab, Jezebel. We've gone into a lot of history. But there would be no Israel without a man by the name of Jacob, right? Because his name was Israel, but it changed to Jacob, right? Okay, that was a test. I'm just telling you, right? It was what? What's the proper order, correct?
His name was Jacob and it was turned to Israel.
His name was Jacob and it was changed to Israel. What does Jacob mean? What is Jacob in the Hebrew? Yaquah, right? Supplant, right? Remember, he supplanted his father, or in Esau out of the birthright, or the blessing. So we're going to talk about Jacob, our forefather, you see, whose loins we come from, which is why we're Israelites, sons of Israel. You see, sons of Jacob. That's who we are. You see. So we're gonna go. Correct. You say you solid in the Hebrew. Read it. Okay. So we're gonna read Genesis 29 and 13. I got my notes on the computer, but the computer is out of my reach. Don't worry about it. Start at 13, all right? Let me double check real quick. Go to Genesis. When you go home, I want you to read Genesis 28 and Genesis 29. For those of you watching, watch both Genesis 28 and 29. Read both Genesis 28 and 29, all right? Okay. Start at 13 is fine. Go ahead. Read it in the Hebrew. Now, the questions I have for you, those of you watching, I want you to comment whether you see anybody answered it or not. I want to see your answer. How old was Rachel First of all, who was Rachel? Who was Rachel, right? How old was she when she died or passed on or, you know, gave up the spirit? She died. How old was she? Who is Rachel? And the meaning of her name. All right? Who is Rachel? What's the meaning of her name? And how old was she when she died? Go ahead, Al.
You want me to read up to 20? Or we just going?
7 verses. Always 7 verses.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 13 in the Hebrew.
Remember that, all right? Always 7 verses.
Come on. Wayahaya, Kashamai, Laban, Ath, Shammai.
A little louder.
Come on. Ath Shammai, Yaquab, Ban, Akathwa, Wayaratazah, Laquar, Athwa, Waya, Kabak, Lawa, Waya, Nashak, Lawa, Wayabya, Awa, Al, Bayathwa, Wayasapar, Lalaban, Ath, Kal, Hadabaryam, Ha'al, Ha'ala, verse 14, Wayamar, Lawa, Laban, Ak, Imya, Wabashya, Wabashraya, Wayashab, Imwa, Kadash, Yamyam, verse 15, Wayamar, Laban, Layaquab, Akaya, Akya, Atha, Waibad, Waibad, Thanya, Kanam, Hagyadah, Laya, Ma'a, Mashakar, Thaka, verse 16. Wala Laban, Shathya, Banwath, Sham, Hagadal, Laha, Washam, Hakwatana, Ra'al, verse 17. Wayanya, La'a, Rakawath, Warakal, Hayatha, Yapath, Tha'ar, Wayapath, Maraha, verse 18. Wayahab, it's like Wayahab,
Keep going, Al. You doing a good
Yaquab,
job.
Ath, Rakal, Wayamar, Aibadka, Shabai, Shanyam, Barakal, Bathka, Hakwatana, verse 19, Wayamar, Laban, Tawab, Tathya, Atha, Laka, Mathathya, it's like Atha, Layash, Akar, it's like Shabbat, Imadya, verse 20, Waya Ibad, Yaquab,
Barakal, Shabai, Shanyam, Waha, it's like a Waya, Yawa, Ba'ayan Yawa, Kayamyan, it's like Kayamyam, Akadyam, Ba'abathwa, Atha. That's it.
No sign crazy. Your brother hand, man. Right? Good job, bro. Really, really good job. Go ahead and read Genesis 29 and 13.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 13. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his
Go ahead.
his sister's son.
His what?
His sister's son.
Who is Laban's sister? This is why I asked you to go back, read Genesis 28 and really 25 to 29 so you can get an understanding, but I'll summarize it for you here. Laban is the brother of Rebekah. Rebekah is the mother of Jacob. We good? So Laban is Rebekah's brother. Rebekah is Laban's sister. You see? Read that again.
And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son,
Right? Keep going.
that he ran to meet him.
Right. Because Jacob traveled a long way. He was asking people of the east. He said, do y'all know of a brother by the name of Laban? Laban was a Syrian. You see? He wasn't an Israelite, right? How was he not an Israelite? Go ahead.
Because Jacob was
There was no Israelites. you get what I mean? We're reading the beginning of Israelites. You see? Go ahead.
That he ran.
So we're clear on Rachel and Laban being brother and sister. Go read Genesis 28 and 1. Let me show you why Jacob traveled a long way to find Laban. Read Genesis 28 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac.
Who?
Isaac.
Who is Isaac? Isaac is the father of Judah, right?
Wow, sir.
Okay. He's the father of Isaac. I'm just joking. He's the father of Jacob, right?
Okay.
Isaac is the father of Jacob. Keep going.
Called Jacob and blessed him.
He blessed Jacob. Read.
And charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
You shall not. First of all, this brother reads amazing. That's so like you.
Right.
I'm feeling it in my soul. Right? Good night. I'm looking at it as you read it. Time traveling with you up here, man. Read that again.
Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of
He
Canaan.
told him not to take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. You see? Why? He didn't want Israel or Jacob at the time to deal with heathens. You see? Go ahead.
Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father.
Right. Bethuel is the father of Rebekah. You see? And he said, go to your mother's father's house. Now, by this time, Rebekah, unfortunately, she's died. I asked what age she died and what Rachel means. Y'all can interact with that on a lot for the viewers at home. Right? What age was Rachel when she died? Right? Jacob and Rebekah had a real tight relationship. There was really, Rebekah loved Jacob. You see? Right? Keep going.
And take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
That's the history of, we're reading the history of our origin.
Right.
You see? We're reading about, and when we're going to talk about patience, that's what you'll see where that comes in. We're talking about Jacob and him traveling a long way to go get a daughter of Laban, who is his uncle. You see? On his mother's side. That's key. Now go back to Genesis 29, and you can go back to where was you at?
13 of the one.
Go ahead, 14.
Come on, come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And Laban said to him,
What did Laban say to Jacob? Read.
surely thou art my bone and my flesh.
Say you my what?
My bone and my flesh.
My bone and my flesh. Don't that sound familiar?
I don't know.
Where do we hear that terminology?
Oh, so like from Adam?
From Adam and Eve. And also in Samuel. Right? Go ahead.
And he abode with him.
What does that mean? You my bone and my bone, flesh and my flesh. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Oh, it's like, yes, me, sir.
Come on.
Oh, I mean, they, like, kinfolk, pretty much. Like,
Meaning what?
family.
Family. You are my nephew. Right? Read.
And he abode with him the space of a month.
He stayed with him a month. Read on.
And Laban said unto Jacob,
What did he say?
because thou art my brother.
Because you are. Now, are they brothers, or are they brothers?
They brothers.
They brothers. No, you good at it. Right? They're brothers. As in, related. Family. Go ahead.
Shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught?
Right? Keep going.
Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
Right?
And Laban had 2 daughters.
Right?
The name of the elder was Leah.
The name, this is key. The name of the elder was Leah. You see? Read on.
And the name of the
The
younger
name of the younger
was Rachel.
was Rachel. So now we have Laban, Jacob, Leah, Rachel. You see? Read on.
Leah was tender-eyed.
Now Leah, the younger sister, the older sister, you see, was tender-eyed. What does that mean? I'll give you a hint with the next part of that verse. Keep going.
But Rachel was beautiful.
But Rachel was beautiful. So what does it mean when it says tender-eyed, Parat?
She wasn't easy to look at.
She wasn't easy to look at? Okay. I don't think she was hideous. I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Israel are beautiful people.
Okay.
Right? You look up that word, how you doing, sis? But, you know, kind, absolutely. What tender eye? Read that again.
Leah was tender-eyed.
She wasn't as attractive as Rachel. You see what I'm saying? Like she probably had, you know, she could have been, you know, she was just not. I'm just going to summarize it as she wasn't as attractive as Rachel. You see? And she was a timid sister. She didn't have a lot of confidence. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
But Rachel was beautiful.
Rachel was beautiful. Jacob saw Rachel first. When you read the history, and Rachel was a shepherd. She tended the sheep. You see? Keep going.
And well favored.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob loved Rachel.
And Jacob, when he first laid his eyes on Rachel, prior to his discussion with Laban, because Rachel is the one that ran and told Laban, it's a man claiming to be your sister's son in town. And Laban came out, oh man, I remember you was this yay high. You feel me? Read on.
and said,
You got your mother's eyes. I know you. You definitely bone of my bone, flesh. They couldn't add each other on Facebook.
I don't want to.
You see what I'm saying? He's like, you definitely bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I can see your mother in you. Right? Read on.
I will serve thee 7 years.
He said, because Laban asked him, you're not going to serve me for naught. Right? You in the land. Right? Jacob said, what?
I will serve thee 7 years.
I'll serve thee 7 years. For what?
For Rachel.
For who?
Rachel.
One more time.
Rachel.
For Rachel. You hear that, right? Jacob said, I will serve thee, listen, 7 years. Golly, 7 years. Not 7 days, not 7 weeks, not 7 months, 7 years. You know how long 7 years is? How long?
7 years.
The water. That was exactly what I was looking for. I'm rolling with this, brother. That was exactly what I was looking for. That's, you know. But keep reading.
Thy younger daughter.
Thy younger daughter. This is being worded like this for a reason. Keep reading.
And Laban said,
What did Laban say?
it is better that I give her to thee.
He said, it's better I give her to you
than that I should give her to another man.
than that I should give her to another man. Why? Because you're my, go ahead.
Flesh of his flesh and
Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Right? Read on. Now, should you go and deal with your uncle's daughter? No. I mean, no. You know what I'm saying? Times was different back then. Right? You show up to the barbecue with your cousin as your date. You're going to cause up a stir.
Right.
So, Lakia, go ahead.
Abide with me.
I ain't got to go into that breakdown, do I? I don't want to take away from it, but you know, you get the point. We can go. You want to read about who you can and cannot deal with? Read Leviticus, the 18th chapter. Right? Read on.
And Jacob served 7 years.
Now, Jacob served 7 years. Read on.
For Rachel.
For Rachel. For Rachel. He was tilling the ground for Rachel. He was taking care of the livestock of Laban for Rachel for 7 years. Read on.
And they seemed unto him.
What seemed unto him? Read.
But a few days.
But a few days. Them 7 years flew by. Jacob, when he first saw Rachel, he was like, damn, that's her. You get what I'm saying? Like I heard daughters from Isaac. Like I heard my father say daughters, get you one of the daughters, but this is the daughter that I want.
Right.
I want her. You know that feeling. I want her. I don't care about nothing else. I want her. I want her. That was Jacob, and he's like, I worked 7 years for her. No sweat. And the 7 years flew by. You see what I'm saying? As he's working and tilling the ground, he sees Rachel from a distance. You know, she look at him, smile, right? And yeah. Whew, back to work. For real though. You see what I'm saying? He feeding the sheep. How you doing, Rachel? Boy, you know you ain't supposed to be talking to me right now. Get back to do your 7 years. Right? Kind. You know. But Jacob really liked her. He was in. It said he loved Rachel. You see? You deal with the world today. It's almost. Let's get those backlights on. Bible shot. It's almost like not okay to love a woman. You feel me? Like in today's society, it's back here. In today's society, it's like frowned upon if you like a woman as a man, because they want you to like, almost cuss, like it. They want you to like men.
Right.
The lights on the wall next to the cans. Go help the brother up.
Come on.
It's all right. in today's society, and you can chime in whenever you want, Parag.
Come on.
The point is, like in today's society, they tell you, you know, they tell women to play the field. Look, Rachel didn't play the field. You see what I'm saying? She waited for a righteous man.
Right.
You see? And she was his daughter. She was instructed by her father that, look, this brother is going to work 7 years, you see, for one of my daughters.
It's like if I could.
Yep.
Like what Jacob did is so heavy because, you know what I'm saying, he put in the work to get that woman versus, you know what I'm saying, most brothers, they're willing to just get a woman for a night and throw her away.
Get that brother a hand. I said chime in, the brother chimed in. You see? Say that one more time, man.
Like what he did was so heavy because he worked 7 years for this woman, you know what I'm saying? He put the work in to get this woman when other brothers, you know what I'm saying, they would rather just get a woman for a night, throw her away.
We don't do that in here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like for a man to like a woman, for us to like a woman, like that woman's blessed. You see? That woman's very blessed. For Itazam, that sister you like, she's blessed because you like her. You see what I'm saying? But don't just lay with her though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can like a woman. I don't mean I'm gonna marry you. I gotta see what you about.
That's right.
I gotta see if you good with whatever I need you to be good with in my life. How can we complement each other? You see what I'm saying? I need to know if this 7 years of working for you is worth it. You see? Now, of course, I don't want to use the terminology of us working for a woman in here, right? I don't want to, you know, we don't worship women or nothing like that. And Jacob didn't worship Rachel. That was just the situation for, you know, because you would pay a dowry. This was his dowry. He had to earn the right to marry a daughter of Laban. But you today, you gotta take your time with it. You know, brother, sister, brother, be patient with selecting who you lay with. You see what I'm saying? Because you know what that means, right? What did it mean?
That means you're responsible for that woman for the rest of your and her life.
You're responsible for each other for the rest of your lives.
That's right.
You're gonna get in each other's nerves. You see what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get into it. But at the end of the day, like, I gotta deal with your big head for the rest of my life. You see? Go ahead.
For the love he had to her.
That 7 years seemed like nothing but a few days because of the love he had for this sister. It's okay to like a woman. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for liking a woman.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, damn, is the society that twisted to where if I like a woman, I gotta be like, I don't know, like, should I express that I like this person?
It's like if I could, like most, like brothers in the world will call you a simp. You know?
Right.
You're simping over this girl.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. I mean, you don't want to be like, you don't want to go Valentine's Day. Simp. That's next level.
Right.
You know, I ain't gonna lie, I be listening to Temptations, man, and they made some good tracks, but man, I like oldies, I like it, but man, ain't too proud to beg.
Right.
Can't beg you.
Right.
I can't beg a woman to want to be with me. You know, you like the woman. Shoot, if y'all like each other, see if it works out. Y'all like each other, you see? But too proud to beg. I like you, but I can't beg you to be with me.
That's right.
You see? Go ahead.
Slagia certified May. I just wanted to make another comment on how he he worked the 7 years for Rachel, but I'm not sure if it's saying that, but I'm pretty sure he got to know her, talk to her here and there,
Yeah.
But
I would imagine.
Yeah, but to add on to what the brother was saying, today in today's world, brothers, they sleep with a sister or whatever, or they don't get to know that woman first, and then you end up sleeping with her, and then you might find out she really ain't all that, or she wicked or whatever. But it's kind of like you already done it's too late now. Like that's your woman now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, brothers in the world, they don't even follow that. They just think, well, I don't want her no more, so I'm gonna just get rid of her. You know, that's
And that's so evil.
Right.
For you to sleep with a woman, like, good night. What have we come to?
Right.
For you to have sex with a woman, for her to trust you. Well, listen, a lot of these women are whores in the world. They don't give a damn. They're gonna throw you away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
She go, what you thought this was? I'm on the next pipe.
Right.
On to the next ride. That's the city girls, right? Make them. What, I don't know the song, but you get the point. Butt implants and, you know, I mean, the world can have that. I don't know about you. I don't want that. You see, I don't want that. I want something soft and kind and delicate. Not, nigga. What you getting me for Valentine's Day? Oh, you not getting me nothing? Somebody will. Oh, for real? But you already done laid with that. You see, don't do it. Be patient with that. See, she look good. She looks amazing. She's just how you like. She's your type. Both you get the right vibe from her, and you know, physically she's what you like. But that don't mean you go have sex with her because you can or the opportunity presents itself.
Right.
You should be like, listen, I'm a man of the Lord. I serve God. You want to be called by my name? Listen, because you know a woman represents you.
Right.
You know that, right? Sisters represent that husband. You can either take away from the brother's reputation or build his reputation. You see what I'm saying? What do I mean by that?
Sloppy out of one.
Go ahead.
You can either strengthen his family name or you can shame him.
How can a woman shame you? How can your wife shame you?
Sloppy out of one. She could behave in a way that's unbecoming of a woman who professes to be godly.
And what's that? How's that?
Shameless.
Give me an example.
Be clamorous.
To be clamorous, you're using big words. Like, help me out.
To talk too much. To
talk too much. What you mean talk to? Sister's gonna talk. Sister's gonna talk.
Well, to speak against your permission and to say
speak
the wrong
against
things.
your permission. Okay. Say the wrong things. What's some wrong things she could say?
So if I could,
that'll dishonor you.
Count out of one kind. Things that generally dishonor a man, like he's nothing, and to speak to speak ill of him.
To speak ill of him, gossip about him, spread y'all business. You see? This nigga throw his socks next to the laundry basket. You get what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna air me out like that. Brothers do that for some reason. Right, huh, right? Just throw the socks right next to. I'm just joking, Act. I'm just joking.
But you picked up somehow, so like.
But out of line. But look, you get the point. You don't wanna get with a woman like that. You see? But Jacob, yeah, I'm sure Jacob was able to feel her out. He talked to her. You see? You know, but he didn't have sex with her. He was too busy focused on the 7 years that he had to work.
It's like if I could.
Yep.
Like that brother understood responsibility. You get what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, he who getteth the wife beginneth the possession.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So because that's the case, he understood. He had to, you know what I'm saying? He had to put the work in to make sure what he was doing was, he put in that time to get to know that, you know, that woman. And that's what brothers don't do, you know what I'm saying, today. And that's why it's because brothers don't really understand patience and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And to get a woman, it requires patience, and it becomes a large responsibility.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's more than just sex.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Rebecca was about, did y'all ever get the answer for that? How old Rebecca was? I believe she was 137. 137 years old, Rebecca was. Right? Let me see. Go ahead and go ahead, and we're at the end of that. So the next question is, how old was Abraham and Sarah when they had Isaac? As the brother reads the Hebrew, y'all listen and follow along, but also get the answers to those questions. How old was Abraham and Sarah when they had Isaac? Go ahead, Parak.
Come on. Book of Genesis 29, chapter 29 and verse 21. Wayamar, Yaquab, Al, Laban, Haba, Af,
Genesis 25.
Ashatya, Kaya, Malaawa, Yamya, Waba, it's like Waba, Wa'a, Al-Ya, verse 22, Wayawasa, Laban, Af, Kal, Anasha, Hamakwam, Waya Aisha, Mashata, verse 23, Wayahaya, Ba'irab, Wayakwa, Af, La'a, it's like La'a, Badwa, Wayaba'a, Atha, Al-Yawa, Wayaba'a, Al-Ya, verse 24, Wayathan, Laban, it's like La'a, Af, it's like Zalapa, Shapakathwa, Lala'a, Badwa, Shapaka, verse 25, Wayahaya, Babakwar, Wahana, Hawa'a, La'a, Wayamar, Al, Laban, Maha, Za'ath, Aishayath, Laya, Hala'a, Barakla, Ibathaya, that's like Imka, Walama'a, Ramyath, Nawa, verse 26, Wayamar, Laban, La'a, Ya'aisha, Khan, Bama, Kwama, Nawa, Lathath, Hatzazai, Yara, Lapanya, Habak Yara, verse 27, Mala'a, Shabai, Za'ath, Wanathana, Laka, Gam, Ath, Za'ath, Ba'ibad Ha, Amar, it's like Ashar, Tha'ibad, Imadya, Iwada, Shabai, Shanyam, Akarwath, verse 28, Wayaisha, Yaquab, Khan, Wayamala'a, Shabai, Za'ath, Wayathan, Lawa, Af, Ra'al, it's like Rakal, Bathwa, Lawa, La Shah.
What verse is that?
That's the end of verse 28. So that was 21 through 28.
So you read 28.
Come on.
Okay. All right. Most High praise. Go with Rebecca. Okay, so that's what it was. There's no scripture that talks about the age of her death like other brothers and sisters in the Bible, but it's like math you have to do. You see what I'm saying? You got to do a little bit of math. The time Jacob was gone, the years he spent working for Laban. You know, it's like a math question, really. It's not really a scripture that says she was 137. Now I confused that with somebody else. But go ahead and keep reading nonetheless. So scratch that question. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis.
Where we at so far? Bring us up to where we at in this account.
You want like a summary, sir?
Yeah. What we read the last 7 verses.
Salaki, if I may, pretty much, and to summarize it, Jacob went to go meet his uncle. So his uncle and
A little louder.
Salaki, he went to go meet his uncle, Laban, and he met the 2 daughters, but he saw Rachel. He was extremely attracted to Rachel, so he wanted to work the 7. Oh well, not he wanted to, but he wanted Rachel. Laban told him, okay, you're gonna work 7 years, take her as your wife. So he's doing it. He's serving the 7 years, and like it says in the scriptures, it was but a few days to him, so he wasn't even really tripping over it. He's like, I want her, so I'm gonna do these 7 years. And that's where we got to so far before verse 21.
Okay. All right. So y'all good with that? Everybody know? I just want to make sure everybody know where we at.
Go another one, go.
We all good? Sis, we good? All right. Go ahead now.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 21.
Go ahead.
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled.
Right. That 7th year, I need my wife, Laban. I'm done. Right? I'm done. We good to go, right? Go ahead.
That I may go in unto her.
That's biblical terminology for marriage. Right, yeah. Having, being intimate. Going into a woman. Go ahead.
And Laban gathered together all the men.
That shows you that, sex is marriage right there.
Right.
That I may go in unto her. That makes sense. I don't want to be too vulgar or anything like that, but you get the point. Go ahead.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast.
Laban was like, all right, you're right. All right, he's looking at the, his yard, and you see his sheep been sheared, right? That's the job of a shepherd too, to keep them shorn. You get the point. And that's what he did. He took care of the flocks. He brushed the horses. They don't say that, right? But we gotta have a little bit of imagination reading the Bible. He took care of business for 7 years. I painted the house. I don't know. He had work for 7 years. I'm sure he was doing something. He wouldn't sit down on a lunch break the whole damn time. Right? He said, my 7 years is fulfilled. You see? And then Laban said, you know what, you're right. It has been 7 years. All right. He called all the people around about that, all his friends. We're going to have a feast, man. My daughter is about to get married. Oh, okay, let's do it. They have a feast. Got the lamb cooking, and it's smelling good, right?
Right.
Keep reading.
And it came to pass.
Drinking. No, they had drinks. Jacob was like, man, finally. You know what I mean? I've been, right. Jacob was like, man, I've been, girl, thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Right? And he's like, he's drinking wine. He's drinking. Right? Jacob getting a little slizzed. Right? Read on.
In the evening, that he took Leah, his daughter.
Laban took Leah, his daughter. Leah is the younger daughter, right? Okay. Okay. She was the middle. No? Okay. What was she?
The elder out of one.
She was the elder, right? The older sister. Keep reading.
And brought her to him.
Uh-huh.
And he went in unto her.
Right. Jacob had sex with Leah. Laban, after the party, they went, Jacob waiting in the wedding chamber. He in the room, it's dark. He faded. You see? I mean, how else do you explain this?
Right.
You see? Like, he couldn't have seen her. It was like, yeah, Rachel, you look different from yesterday. All right, let's do it. No, Laban supplanted Jacob. Right. Keep reading.
And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for an handmaid.
That's my mother. That's Gad's mother. Read on.
And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah.
Jacob rolled over on that bed. Don't like him. He rolled over on that bed. He hear the sheep bleeding. He's like, man, that was great. That was amazing. 7 years paid off. He put his hand behind his head. Mm-hmm. He looked to the right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
What the? He's covering himself. Girl, what you doing in my bed? He's like, what you want for breakfast, Ottawa? That's what Leah said. What you? I am yours. Right? He was like, oh, the trickery. Mm-hmm. Jacob was puzzled. Right? No, in all seriousness, Jacob was supplanted. Right. You see, I'm trying to illustrate it for you. Trying to get your imagination working. I watch movies. You watch movies? Movies, You see? Stuff like this happens. Right? All those top directors, by the way, they know the Bible. They know the accounts in the Bible. You see? That's why they call their scripts. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me?
He knocked on Laban's door. Hey, Laban! Laban! I know you in there, Laban. Laban like, Laban come out the door. What's going on, man? Knowing he knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. He like, man, I work. Oh, it's like, I want to go ahead. Go ahead.
Did not I serve with thee for Rachel?
Didn't I serve for Rachel? Didn't I express my love for Rachel to you? Right? Read on.
Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
You beguiled me. Why'd you beguile me? Why'd you lie to me? Why'd you trick me, Laban? I thought all that bone in my bone, flesh in my flesh, all that had me big-headed. I thought you had me. You see?
Come.
You know about that. Let your uncle borrow $20. Let me borrow $20 tomorrow. You see that? You ain't getting that $20 back now.
Nope.
You see? You ain't gonna hear from him until he need another $20.
That's right.
And that's all right. Yeah. Right?
Right.
But man, why you beguile me? Jacob's mad right now. You see, he just married a woman. He worked 7 years for a woman he didn't even want. He saw both of them. He's like, I want Rachel. Rachel is the one who came. It says he kissed. Okay, go back to Genesis 29. Let me show you something really quick. So when you go and read it, you know what it's talking about. 29 and 11.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 11.
What was the last question we asked? I asked. Abraham and Sarah. How old was Abraham and how old was Sarah when They had Isaac. Kind. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept.
Right. Why?
And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother.
He was searching for them. Now don't think of when he first saw Rachel that he saw her and made out with her. You see?
Right.
He didn't see her and start grabbing on her hips and hug her. You know what I mean? That wasn't that. They kissed like, how do we salute your brother with a holy kiss? What does that mean? What's a kiss in the Bible?
It's a lot. You had one.
What? Go ahead.
A touch.
Yeah, it's like, right? They probably hugged, right? You see, but they wasn't making out.
Wow.
Rachel wasn't a whore.
That's right.
You see? Go back to 30. 29 and 26. Go ahead. So let's hear Laban's response to Jacob making his case against Laban. Right, Natazat?
Come on.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 26.
Go ahead.
And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country.
Listen here, young blood. I know you upset. Here. Here's some coffee, man. Listen, it's all right. But in our country, where we come from, where your mother is from, my sister, read on.
To give the younger before the firstborn.
We don't do that. It must not be done so to give the younger before the firstborn. You see? Meaning what? It's our custom to give, not ours as an Israelites, but this is what Laban is saying. It's our custom as Syrians to give off our older. Otherwise, who's gonna marry my older daughter? She getting older. She in her mid-20s, early 30s. Ain't got no man yet. You see, if you don't marry her, ain't nobody gonna marry her. I'm sure somebody would have married her, but Laban did want Jacob to marry his daughters. But it was in his practice for it to be the older sister first. Jacob got in that wedding chamber. He was getting it on. You see, didn't recognize that he didn't know that it was Leah at the time until the morning. You see? Read on.
Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Right. So Laban was like, look, you can still have Rachel, but I need another 7 years. Jacob was like, good night. I would have been like, sheesh. I would have looked at Rachel from a distance like, she probably was in her feelings too. Mm-hmm. She like Jacob? Mm-hmm. Damn. But she probably understood too. You know what I mean? Another thing too, like you're not allowed to marry sisters.
Right.
You see?
Right.
What do I mean? You can marry sisters, but you can't marry sisters. Walk with me. What do I mean?
It's a lot going on.
Go ahead. Go. Now I can get them. You the armor. You reading? You know what I mean? You on it. You gonna be right with me. I gotta make sure everybody else is. Go ahead, Azam. You can marry sisters, but you can't marry sisters.
I'm trying to remember. It was a precept I had. It was you can't. I'm paraphrasing it. You can't marry like your wife's sister to vex her.
Get a brother hand.
Yeah, something like that.
If you're not supposed to marry, okay, what do I mean by you can marry sisters?
Like, it's lucky. I don't want to get. I just had a question about the vexing.
Okay, I got you. Right, like I said, biological sisters. You can't marry sisters of the tribes of Israel. They're Israelites, but they have the same mama and daddy. You can't marry those sisters. You see? Say there was a man named Mike, and he has a daughter named Jessica and Sarah. Right? Those are his daughters. You can't marry Jessica and Sarah. You can't do that. You see? But you can marry sisters. Meaning what? What do we call Israelite women? Sisters. You see? That's what I mean. I don't mean to confuse you. Right? Just make sure everybody on their P's and Q's. Go ahead.
It's like, I don't want to come here. I had to remember to.
You got the precept? We'll read the precept and then we'll explain it, all right?
Come on.
Go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 18.
Read on.
Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister.
Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister. Read on.
To vex her.
To what?
To vex her.
Read on.
To uncover her nakedness.
Is that in on that?
It says, beside the other in her lifetime. That's
right. Go ahead. Ask your question.
That's what I wanted to ask. Like, why was the vexing included into it? Like, why wouldn't it just say you shouldn't take a woman's your wife's sister, just period, instead of just saying, oh yeah, don't take your wife's sister just to get her upset about it.
Because it will vex her.
Correct.
Okay, so it's just a naturally.
It'll vex her.
Kind of.
It'll vex her. Like what does it mean to vex? What does it mean to be vexed? You're vexed all the time, right? Stuff vexes you. Right. What does it mean to be vexed? I'm vexed to be in America at the bottom. That's a clue. Go ahead.
Like you're troubled.
Let's get the definition. If we're not definite, let's get definite. You see? Go ahead, Prague. You want to say something?
Lies, sir.
Okay.
I was gonna say something similar, but pretty much like oppressed.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I got the word vex in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. To bring trouble, distress, or agitation to.
Oh, look, sisters with sisters in the on the live feed. Explain how it'll bother you, and because I'm not a woman, I'm not a sister with sisters. I can't really I can give my synopsis on why I think it would. You have sisters?
Yes.
Okay, if you don't mind, can I ask you, how would you feel, or what would be vexing about a man marrying you and then your sister? I'm interested to know from a woman's perspective and from the sisters watching.
What would irritate me, maybe she would think she was better in cooking for him or better in taking care of his needs, you know, stuff like that. And she would probably try to put it in my face all the time. She was doing stuff better for him than I could do.
Right. That's excellent. Go ahead.
Salakia, I don't want to, if I may, I'm glad the sister said irritate, because I wanted to read the next definition.
Go ahead.
To irritate or annoy by petty provocations.
Now, listen. Here's the thing with Rachel and Leah. Jacob, the sister, ain't that what happened with Rachel and Leah? The sister also said it seems disgusting and siblings fight all the time. That man won't have no peace. Listen, the sister said, isn't that what happened between Leah and Rachel? Yes. You see? One could have children, one couldn't. One was getting jealous, her self-confidence was getting lower and lower. Right? Constantly. They grew up, on the swing set together. Now they sharing a man. They're always in common, But I'm interested in how sisters feel about that, because to be a sister and have sisters, how would you feel? The same situation with Rachel and Leah could happen. They vexed each other. They did. We're not gonna get that far today. That's next week, right? But go ahead, keep reading in the account.
Verse 28. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week.
And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, meaning 7 years.
Right.
You see? Read on.
And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
You see that? Read on.
And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid.
You see that? Who was Leah's, the now wife of Jacob, who was her handmaid? Zilpah. Who is Rachel's handmaid? Bilhah. Those are important names to remember as well. You see? Read on.
And he went in also unto Rachel.
Uh-huh.
And he loved also Rachel more than Leah.
He paid more attention to Rachel. He loved Rachel more. You don't think Leah felt that? You see? As you gotta be wise, you get another rib. Yeah, you can have multiple wives, but how many? Be realistic with yourself. How many can you feel me? Pay attention to and be fair with.
Right.
You get what I'm saying, Barack? What, help me out.
I mean, once again, you know what I'm saying, he who getteth the wife beginneth the possession, so it's your responsibility to take care of that wife, to give her the attention that she needs. But when you introduce another, you know what I'm saying, another rib on top of that, now you have to split that time, you know what I'm saying, and it's hard to do, but it's a responsibility.
Split that time, right? Okay, so give me an example. Do y'all, okay, say your and your two wives are cool. Let's give that, you know, y'all want to go to the movies. Y'all can go, all three of y'all, go to the movies. Wonderful, sounds wonderful, right? The movies, hey, so like, it should be. It shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Right.
It shouldn't be. It, sometimes it's like that, I understand.
Right.
But we got to get away from that. You know, it's our culture.
Right.
Shoot, you get the popcorn, you get the slushies.
That's right.
I get the movie tickets.
Right.
You see?
Right.
It should be all good. We're gonna go watch something. I don't know. Right? But sometimes one rib might want. You know, I don't have no problem with going with the sister, but you know, can we go? Just me and you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But then you can't just not take her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you just take her. And then now the other one will be like, shoot, I want to go by myself too, right? You gotta be, and now say you don't do that. Ooh, what are you showing? Go ahead.
You showing more favor to one and not the other.
You're showing more favor. I'm trying to make your life easier. You're showing more favor to one than the other. Then how the other one that's less favored gonna feel? How would she feel, sis?
Less favored.
Less favored. And that less favor, your food gonna have less flavor.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm something like a poet. I'm just joking. Right?
Crazy.
It had to. It worked.
That's right.
But nah, she gonna be. She gonna slam doors a little harder. She gonna close doors a little harder. Right? What's wrong? She gonna be quiet. Nothing. You know, she gonna make passive aggressive posts on Facebook. You know, I really want to go to the movies. You know, while you at the movies, don't. You be like, listen, you go talk, go communicate. Hey, look, I'm gonna take so and so today. On your next day off, me and you can go wherever you want to go. You understand? Then if y'all want to do like a weekly or monthly, all come together, let's go to the beach, let's go to the carnival, that's fine too. You see? That's fine too. You get my point? What's another way that Jacob could have made Leah feel less favored than Rachel? Go ahead, Ajahn.
If I may, I mean, the simplest way I can think of it is just like, you know, spending more time with her. I mean,
spending more time with her? Okay.
It's like, it's like, because in the scriptures, it's showing that, obviously, like, he wanted Rachel in the first place.
Right.
So he's showing, he's going to show more favor to Rachel, but now.
But how was he showing more favor than Rachel? or than Leah?
Spending more time with her. I don't want to say it.
Go ahead.
He didn't. I'd say like it's not even so much that he had to actively do anything more than in the morning complain and serve another 7 years to still get Rachel.
Okay, what's your point?
That's a lot more favorite because he already has a wife.
Okay, that's an excellent point. Good night.
It's 14.
Yeah, because you can imagine them 7 years, he probably wasn't even really paying attention to Leah. I mean, you know, he was dealing with her. Well, Jacob is a righteous man, but when he ended up marrying both, that's where Leah saw where Jacob's heart was. You see? But Jacob was having more sex with Rachel. You see? He was having more sex with Rachel than Leah. But guess who saw that? Not Zach.
The Lord.
The Lord. Who sees everything? The Most High. Who knows your thoughts? The Most High. We've been talking about this the last few weeks. If you've been tuning in any of my classes in particular, we've been talking about the Most High knowing your thoughts, the Most High knowing your intentions. You see? Right? Like, think about that. All your thoughts. All your thoughts. The scriptures say err before they think their thoughts. Before you even think what you gonna think, the Most High know what you're about to think. Right. Good night. That's power. You see? Now, with Rachel and Leah, Rachel was having more sex with Rachel than Leah, right? But as you read on, Rachel was barren. The Lord saw that Leah was less favored. Listen, because it's not righteous to get a wife and start to put away your other wife or be unfair with your ribs. Right. The Most High didn't say you can get multiple wives and start to be unfair with them and mistreat them. Right. That's not righteous. Having multiple wives is not, oh, I'm having sex with two women. Right. Yeah, that's marriage, but having 2-3 wives, you get my point?
It's like if I could.
You absolutely could. Yeah.
Exodus the 21st chapter, the 10th verse says, if he take him another wife.
Read that again.
If he take him another wife.
If he take him another wife.
Her food.
Her what?
Her food.
Her food.
Her raiment.
Her raiment.
And her duty of marriage.
And sex. Read on.
Right. Shall he not diminish?
You can't diminish.
That's right.
You see? But Jacob was diminishing. Jacob he loved Rachel more. Right. He finally got Rachel. He was disappointed that he married Leah. Leah felt that. You see? I have daughters, so I think about my daughters. Right. You understand? You have daughters? So you would think like, or you're a woman. You would feel if a man is, how would you feel if you wake up next to your husband, he like, oh, this was a mistake. I would feel. She said, I would feel awful. Right. How do you think Leah felt? Right. Awful. Probably cried. Probably cried on her father's shoulder. He don't want me. Why did you make me do that? You know? And then she saw him work 7 more years for her younger sister, who she knew was more beautiful than her. You see? And Rachel, he got Rachel, and he was happy. And guess who saw how happy he was? The Most High, but Leah saw. She washing dishes out the window, she see. She fixed her glasses. Okay. That's what we doing. Start putting extra Lorries on it. It's too salty? Oh, okay. But You get the point? You gotta go with, when you read the Bible, you gotta become, listen to me good. You gotta like put yourself in their shoes sometimes. How would you feel about that? You see? And then you as a brother, right, is why you take your time choosing your wives. You feel me? How do you take time choosing a wife? If you're a man that you know, listen, I don't want just one wife. If that's your mindset, you might be a brother that wants no wives. You see? You ain't got to worry about nothing. If you're a brother that's going to deal with women, what should you be to the women you talk to? If you want, go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may, well, I'll say the first things first. I mean, like, tell them the truth, like, straight up.
You should be straight. You should be honest from the gate.
But also be fair.
You should be fair. How can you be fair?
If
you assuming you want your marriage to run like a well-oiled machine, you see? You don't want we talked about that. You don't want an unhealthy marriage.
Right.
It's gonna make you stress and stress and stress. That's why you should be mindful of who you have sex with.
Right.
And who you lay with. Because now you got two women who don't know about each other, and damn it, they gonna find out about each other. You lived it.
That's right.
You tried to play, Return of the Mac. You know what I mean? You go to your other rib house, and your other rib sitting on the couch swinging her keychain. Mm-hmm. And now sitting the other rib behind the door like this. You're not leaving. We're talking. We are talking, Itazam. Itazam like, woo. You said, kind. But you see, they're going to be hurt and upset, then they're all going to use it against you. Right? That's a fact. Versus, listen, I got a rib. But look, she know about you.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus, I don't have no wife. But you got two wives. I don't have a wife. It's me and you. Then she's expecting it just to be her. And then she finds out her expectation was, you lied to her. A woman's gonna be hurt.
That's right.
That's coming from a righteous sister.
That's right.
If your man lied to you about having another woman, and you find out he has a woman, you just gonna be, it's okay. You're gonna feel some way about it, realistically. But as righteous women be like, damn, why didn't you just tell me?
Right.
Versus you deal with someone outside the school that I don't recommend. If you're wise, unless she wants to come into the school, that's different. You feel me? You talk to her. She might be a woman in the world. You talk to her. She's like, come to a class. You're like, come to a class. She comes to a class. Come to classes. Hey, or watching videos online, whatever, what have you. She's like, I can get with that. Hey, And you also gotta. What else as a man should you look out for? The rope-a-dope. What's the rope-a-dope? I don't know what that is either, but we're gonna define it today. The rope-a-dope is, I don't have, I don't care about the women and this and that. And soon as, or I'm kind, I'm nice, I'm this, I'm that. And as soon as you marry them, they just turn into a damn monster.
Right.
Right? How can you stay away from that? I'm trying to make your life easier. Don't deal with whores, Zach.
That's right.
Leave hoes alone. Don't be aroused by pretty face, big behind. You see? That's cool, I guess. Like in the world, that's all brothers wanted. You see? Right? I mean, ain't nothing wrong. Everybody has their type. Some brother like, thinner women. Some brother like thicker women. That's fine. But you shouldn't be out here like lusting after everything you see.
Right.
And just wanting to go in unto her and make her your wife. Now you're gonna make a whore of my sister.
Right.
You see? You're gonna call me all the time. Man, it's like you, sir. Where was you at when we was talking about Jacob, Rachel, and Leah? Go ahead, Aitazan.
Slaggy, I don't want if I may. I just want to bring up the point that you're making. Like, that's why it's so important for like brothers like to get to know like the woman that they want to deal with, because you know sex is marriage. Like once you lay with her, you're supposed to be with her for the rest of your life, forever.
How long is the rest of your life?
That's a long time, sir.
It's the rest of your life.
That's right.
Like, you get my point? She's going to Passover with you. She's going to Feast of Purim, which is coming up. You're gonna want to. If you got a righteous woman, if you have righteous women, and you a righteous brother, shoot. I mean, everybody run their house different. I'm not gonna run my house how Parak runs his. You see? And he ain't gonna run his how he run. But the foundation of running a healthy, righteous marriage, yeah, we do the same thing.
Right.
But Parak, you understand? He wants salmon. Look at him. You like salmon, right? I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I get down with some salmon.
Salmon fire. That's salmon last night. Shout out to Texas. They came out and made salmon, and
that's right.
They with this my sister Kanaya and I's recipe from Texas. She gets down on the grill, right? But the point is, Nalazak gonna run his house different from Aitazan. Aitazan runs his house different from, how you deal with your ribs. If you want them to come to class, if you want them to do this, if you want them to sew, if you want them to take on going to school, if you know what I mean, what you want them to do, right? Like Jeremiah said, he was like, I want a woman, like my taste is, I need a woman that gets the money. I was like, that's heavy. He was like, get your woman that knows how to, a black woman knows how to get money out. You hear him, right? It's money. And look, we was at, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but Jeremiah, he lived what he teach on.
That's right.
You live what you teach. You see? Or grow into it. You might not have multiple wives. You might not have no wife. But what you learn, apply it to your life. I'm telling you. Because I don't have to tell you what it's like for, you got a woman and you talking to other women on the low and your woman find out.
Right.
Right? What happened?
She gonna
flip. She gonna flip, Pop. She gonna flip. She gonna lose it. And she gonna bring it up every 2 days. Go talk to Uti Woo. Hey, can you make me a sandwich? Have Uti Woo make you a sandwich. Look, sis laughing. I did that earlier. I'm just playing, sis. But for real though, right? That's something you should avoid. I know I'm being comedic. I'm joking with y'all, but it is serious. You know what I'm saying? Like when you've been in those situations, right? When you found how you felt like what?
I just felt like nothing. I just felt like betrayed and.
She felt betrayed.
Too, and unloved and just.
Why did you feel like that? Why did you feel betrayed?
Because the situation was there in my face every day, but he was telling me something else. But it was. I just felt like the whole thing was a lie. The whole.
Who likes being lied to?
Right.
Relationship was just based on a big bad lie.
Right.
And with your heart being in, your mind being into into this person, and you love them so much, the lie is there, but you kind of know, because you have those feelings, but you're not want to really know, so you just But
who likes being lied to?
No one likes being lied to.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Nobody. Y'all know that's the Wagga Bar's mother, right?
Yeah.
Like the Wagga Bar's excellent brother. You get my point? Where who likes being lied to? And why don't you like being lied to? Think about it. You think about it, and you tell me why you don't like being lied to. You don't like people telling. Look, you don't like people telling you something, and don't go follow through with it. I can't get with that. I don't like that. Right? That's how it makes you feel, right? I'm gonna be there at 2. We gonna do this. Okay. It's 2:30. Where art thou? You see?
Right.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'll be time. You know, time is important, especially in ISUPK. You say you're gonna be somewhere at a certain time, you should be there. If you're gonna be a little late, you should what? Communicate it. It's like, sir, I'm running 10 minutes behind. No problem. Versus you show up 10 minutes late. All right, where you? What happened? Oh, you know, I'm running behind. Why you ain't let me know? You should practice that, right? Practice that. Nah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But in the future, I'm not pointing nobody out. I'm speaking in general. There's been times where I didn't express, and I got checked, and it never happened again. Because I don't want to get checked like that ever again. I'm not even gonna go into that, but where are you at? I was like, sir, you know, text. You know, text. You really want to call, but if the call don't go through, leave a message. You understand? We live in, it's 2021. You know? But with everything, like, communication is everything. But keep reading.
Verse 31. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened
When
her.
who saw?
The Lord.
One more time.
The Lord.
Laban.
The Lord.
Jacob.
The Lord.
Rachel.
The Lord.
Rebecca.
The Lord.
Isaac.
The Lord.
The Lord, what did he do?
Opened her womb.
When he saw that Leah was hated. Whew. Jacob didn't, really care about Leah like that. I mean, he cared for her, you see, but not as much as Rachel. You understand? Right. The Lord saw that Leah was hated, but the Lord opened her womb. See? Pop quiz. Who was Jacob's firstborn son? Keep reading.
But Rachel was barren.
Keep reading.
And Leah conceived. And bare a son.
Who was her first son?
Reuben.
You just read it. I'll just play it. Keep going.
And she.
I still like it. I'm just myself. You know what I mean? I'm nobody else. Go ahead.
And she called his name Reuben.
His name is Reuben. Go ahead. Why was his name Reuben? Read on.
For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
You hear that? Now she like, I got an edge. This is where Rachel and Leah, the tension starts to grow. Because now she's having, Benjamin was the youngest son of Jacob. Now I got the upper hand now. Right? In her mind. I didn't have his daughter. Even though that's a glorious thing. But to have a son.
Right.
See? I have his son. You know, when she was pregnant, when she was 7 months, right? You know she would walk by Rachel. Right? You know, rub her tummy, rub the baby. You want to feel, sis?
Oh, damn.
Right? It don't say that, but you can only imagine. Right?
Right.
It wasn't like we don't just read this and then everybody just standing there just. This is actual accounts. Right. When Moses saw it, he wrote all this down. You see? Yep. This was given to Moses. Moses had this recorded. A lot of this was oral. Moses was given the accounts Why do you think when Moses came down from that mount, he had to cover his face and put a veil about his face? Because his face was shining. You see, he's dealing with angels and God, and you see all this information. Some of the stuff, the Most High told Moses, this is what you can bring out, this is what you can't bring out. We got what he could bring out. Y'all know that precept, right? Get 2 Esdras 14 real quick. That's an apocrypha right there. I had his brother read it. No problem. Get 2 Esdras 14. That's Rachel's son. Who was Rachel's son? Salakia. Oh, Benjamin. Khan. What? I don't know about that. I gotta double check on that. Because Jacob had more wives than Rachel and Leah. And it wasn't, okay. Go ahead.
It's the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 14, verse 1. And it came to pass, upon the third day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Esdras, Esdras. And I said, Here am I, Lord. And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talked with him, when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him, and led.
Wait, let me see. Go down a little bit. Oh yeah, go, keep going.
Count out of one count. And I sent him, and led my people out of Egypt.
Right.
And brought him up to the mount of Sinai.
Right.
Where I held him by me as long season, Salakia, by me a long season.
Right.
And told him many wondrous things.
And told him many wondrous things. Read on.
And showed him the secrets of the times.
The secrets. What did he show him, Parak?
The secrets of the times.
The secrets of the times. Read on.
And the end. And commanded him.
And the end. And commanded. Remember, Moses foresaw us going into slavery on slave ships.
Okay. That's right.
He said, thou shalt go into captivity if you disobey God. Read on.
And commanded him.
And commanded Moses what?
Saying.
What did he say?
These words.
These what?
These words.
Read.
Shalt thou declare.
These shalt thou declare. Read.
And these.
And these.
Shalt thou hide.
You hear that, right?
Makes
sense? We're reading what was declared by Moses. What he was permitted to put out.
Right.
Because prior to that, going back to when Israelites was in Egypt as slaves, it was oral. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we knew about Abraham, our forefather, Isaac and Jacob, but we didn't, you know, yeah, we might have knew the accounts, but Moses was able to give us the breakdowns. You see? Go back to Genesis. Oh, that's it on that. You see? But, I mean, you go read Genesis 28, 29, 30, 31. I mean, the whole book of Genesis, damn. Read it. But for this specific account, you'll read about the tension, right? Between Rachel and Leah. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like for a woman, you read about Samuel. Samuel's mother was in a relationship with a brother who had another wife who was having baby after baby after baby. And this sister, she used to go to the temple of the Lord in the presence of the priest and pray and pray and pray. And some brothers thought that she was just drunk, but she was pouring her heart out to the Most High. Because she was sad that she couldn't have a baby. Right?
Right.
And you see what the Lord did. the Lord balanced everything out. The Most High balanced everything out. Said, the Lord saw that Leah was hated and gave Leah, opened her womb and closed Rachel's. Most High, that was like checkmate on Jacob. Hey, you better get it together. You get what I'm saying? You can't be doing that. You can't be unfair. You can't be, get this. Go to Proverbs. I'm gonna show you this. Get Proverbs 11:1. Watch this.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1.
Dealing with having multiple ribs, right? Go ahead.
A false balance.
A false what?
Balance.
False what?
Balance.
A false balance. Read.
Is abomination to the Lord.
It's an abomination. Break that down, Parat. A false balance. In contrast to what we're discussing. Having multiple wives.
Okay.
Hating one, loving the other.
The same thing that we went over in Exodus, you know what I'm saying? Not diminishing from one the other, treating, you know what I'm saying, your ribs equally. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you take care of both of them equally.
Do you have to do the same things with them? No. Right? You want to, one might not want to, one loves the movies, one doesn't really care for the movies.
Right.
You get my point? So you accommodate. But if you're a righteous man, he knows his women.
Right.
You understand? He knows the woman. And the sister should never think that he doesn't. If the brother is a just man, he knows you. He knows you very, very well. He knows you better than yourself. You get my point? He knows you.
It's like if I could too.
Absolutely.
Like sisters, you know what I'm saying, when they get a man, they can only be with that one man for the rest of their life until that brother die. So, you know what I'm saying, for that situation, for a sister to have to see a brother treat, his other rib better than her, I mean, and she got to live with that for the rest of her life, that's got to be a terrible thing. You know what I'm saying?
Golly.
So, we got to have compassion on these sisters, you know what I'm saying, being able to understand that they don't get no other choices. You know what I'm saying? They stuck with us. It's lucky.
Yeah, but then, being stuck is like when I hear stuck, I imagine like, when you're trying to drive off, but your tires just spinning in the mud. Like, I'm stuck. I don't want to be here. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, she should want to be there. You know. Now, granted, you're gonna have ups and downs. It's a marriage. You're gonna have highs and lows. You know what I mean? But you gotta make healthy marriages great again. I hate to say it like that. But for real though. Because it's a lost art.
Right.
If you're a righteous man, have you a righteous marriage. Have you righteous women to complement you. A righteous woman, multiple righteous women, if you're gonna deal with women. You see? And you're gonna have to learn how to balance everything out. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna have to learn how to balance it. One might live out of town. You see? You're gonna have to go spend a couple weeks there every other month or however y'all, whatever, keep her from losing it. Because she can't go a day without you already, right? Or maybe she wants a sister that need her space. Oh, that's no problem. All I need is about a week, a month, just, you know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all communicate that. But I'm just trying to make your life easier. Right? You get what I'm saying? Was there any questions? Pop quiz. Who is the fourth born son of Jacob?
Was it Judah?
Was it?
That was an unsure answer.
Be confident,
That was a toss in the air.
That was a oop, I feel you.
Oh, Salakia, sir. One of the sisters had a question.
Yeah.
About verse Genesis chapter 30, verse 16.
Go to it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 16. And Jacob came out, Salakia, and Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes.
Right.
And he lay with her that night.
Okay. Okay. What is this talking about, Akim? Okay, start at 14.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field.
What did he find?
Mandrakes.
He found mandrakes. Read on.
And brought them.
You see a Urashima, he laughing. Go ahead.
And brought them unto his mother Leah.
Right.
Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes.
Right. What is a mandrake? To understand this, you got to understand what a mandrake is. What is a mandrake? Go ahead.
A mandrake is an herb that's used.
Just be a little louder.
It's like a mandrake is an herb that's used as like an aphrodisiac.
It's an afro. Let's check him out. Check him out. An aphrodisiac. What's an aphrodisiac?
I mean, something that, you know what I'm saying.
I'll get the exact definition. I don't know the exact definition. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. I'm with you, right? What is an aphrodisiac? I'll read it for you. Aphrodisiac. APH Rhodesiac. Just joking. Aphrodisiac. Boy, I gotta chill. So a mandrake is a aphrodisiac. Isn't that on the Merriam? Oh, there it is. APHRODISIAC, aphrodisiac. An agent such as a food that arouses or is held to arouse sexual desire. That's what a mandrake was. So what it basically put Leah, or when she took the mandrakes, or it's like when you eat, like, okay, when you eat certain herbs and things, like, okay, for example, I was about to go Google this, like yohimbe and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know the school stance on it, but it's like herbs and, you know, that increase your sexual appetite. Right, the water, like your sexual drive. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So I guess it's your libido. I think that's what
your libido.
Libido.
Libido, tomato. Right? But that's what that mandrake was.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband?
See the tension? Mm-hmm. Read on.
And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also?
Go ahead.
And Rachel said.
That was Rachel talking. Go ahead.
Therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes.
Read on.
And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him.
Right. They just met up. Right? I doubt Rachel and Leah stayed in the same spot. So they met up. Read on.
And said, Thou must come in unto me.
Leah said, you gotta have sex with me. Yeah. Read on.
For surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes.
Right.
And he lay with her that night.
So what happened? What's the most that you should get from that scripture right there? Go ahead.
Leah was so rejected that she had to make an exchange just to get some time with Jacob.
Pretty much. Right? And right? For him to be aroused with her. She wanted intimacy too. Right. Now you're giving all the babies to Rachel. You know, and maybe is it the hired part? Hold on, let me double check, because y'all know this is how Issachar was conceived. He is hired, right? And in contrast with where it says, let me find it. This is Phil brought them to his mother, these mandrakes. Where it said, therefore he shall lie with it tonight for some mandrakes. Go ahead. Let me read the few verses above. Go ahead, Parak. Take it away.
So like, what's that?
Take it away. Like keep teaching.
Oh, come.
I'm gonna get the precept for that.
Yeah, come. Read that verse again, right?
Come. Verse 16. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in unto me.
So this is based off of the deal, you know what I'm saying, that Leah and Rachel made. Now, although there was a lot of, you know what I'm saying, there was a lot of tension between them two sisters, they made this deal together. You know what I'm saying? So they were making this work. These sisters wasn't talking about, I'm gonna lead this brother. You know what I'm saying? Although they, you know what I'm saying, they didn't like the fact that they were sharing that man, especially them being sisters. Like the sister said, a bunch of sisters on the live said, you know what I'm saying, it would be very difficult, you know what I'm saying, for two sisters, blood sisters, to share a man. But these sisters still came together. They still came together and they made that deal. Now, you know what I'm saying, one sister didn't necessarily like it, but they made it happen. You know what I'm saying? And they made it happen for that brother. You know what I'm saying?
This is what you need for the hiring of the mandrakes. Basically, where it says, For surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes, that is, she had hired that night's lodging with him for Rachel, with the mandrakes her son Reuben had brought out of the field. You see, Jacob didn't make no objection to it, but he had sex with Leah, being willing to please both of his wives, who, you know, there was tension between the two, and he has sex with her. You see. And that's where you get Issachar from. You don't want to think hire as like she paid or anybody paid. There was a, you know what I mean, like a transaction that had to do with Reuben and her obtaining the mandrakes. You get what I'm saying? Might do a class or can go a little deeper into that, because that's a good question. But essentially, that's what it's talking about. It was tension between the wives, and she wanted another child. You see? So, let me see. There's a precept that goes with that. Find it. Is there any other questions?
So
go ahead.
If I could, is this scripture saying that because Leah was less attractive, as it were, than Rachel, that this exchange happened so that she could give it to her husband and get his appetite up, so that she could then go meet him, and then he would have a motivation to lay with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the higher. That's yeah. Like, okay, yeah, okay. Higher. I don't want you to think higher as like you know, like a a transaction was made. It was like, you know, he had to handle business. You get my point? Like, remember, black people wrote this. He handling business is like It's a job.
That's right.
For hire. You get my point?
That's right.
Had to have sex with your woman. Give her due benevolence.
Right.
That's what it's talking about.
Right.
But it's bothering me because there's a precept that goes with that. It's just not jogging my memory right now. And it's going to bother me because as soon as I get to the house, I'm like, ha! You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Slockett, sir.
Go
Just
ahead.
had another question. Verse 18 says, did Leah have Issachar or her maiden? Because it said once that Leah left bearing, or what does that mean? It's like she just wants like a further breakdown.
Right. This is where Issachar comes from. Right. Go ahead. Go. Keep reading. Just go 16 and then read down.
Come. Verse 16. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And God...
Read that again.
Come. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes.
Right.
And he lay with her that night.
Right.
And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the 5th son. And Leah said, God...
Who was the 5th son? I'll put it to you like this. From Abraham and Sarah, you had Isaac. From Isaac and Rebekah, you had Jacob and Esau, but Jacob was the chosen.
Right.
From Leah, you had Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah. Remember Dinah? The sisters that Hamites harassed, and Simeon and Levi went and tore them up.
Oh, yeah.
Rachel had Joseph and Benjamin. Bilhah, Rachel's servant or handmaid, had Dan and Naphtali. Zilpah, remember the handmaids that Laban gave his daughters? Jacob married those too. And Zilpah had Gad and Asher. Issachar is Leah's 5th son. You see? Go ahead.
Salaki.
Or Jacob's 5th son. Go ahead.
And Leah said, God hath given me my hire.
Right.
Because I have given my maiden to my husband.
Right.
And she called his name Issachar.
Right. That's not saying that the maiden had her. Leah had Issachar. Right? But he was also given the maiden of Leah. And she had children. Zilpah, who was the handmaiden of Leah, also had children by Jacob. Go ahead.
And Leah conceived again.
Which would be considered essentially Leah's children. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And bare Jacob the 6th son.
And then she had a 6th son. Go ahead.
And Leah said, God hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me.
Right.
Because I have borne him 6 sons.
How many sons?
6 sons.
You hear that, right?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah.
You see? Read that question again. Did you ever read the question? I'm sure it's like it. The sister's question.
The question was, verse 18, Did Leah have Issachar or her handmaiden? So that was the question.
Okay. Because it said once that Leah left bearing. Leah had Issachar. Leah had Issachar. You see? The handmaiden, it was just giving you, it's just basically telling you that then, okay, just like Abraham and Hagar. Hagar was Sarah's handmaiden. She helped whatever Sarah needed. You see? But it was her handmaiden. So she was like, hey, marry my handmaiden. You see what I'm saying? And it became Jacob's children, which is like Leah's children, because that's her handmaiden. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to go into that history and read those things, right? Because you think it's just Rachel and Leah. Remember I mentioned earlier Bilhah and Zilpah. Zilpah. I was like, Zilpah, that's my mother. It was a joke, right? But that was Gad's mother. Zilpah was Leah's handmaiden. Bilhah was Rachel's handmaiden. And they probably didn't even like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know? So, I'm gonna find that scripture. I'm gonna find that scripture for the next Sabbath service that goes with Genesis 30 and 16 next week. Next week, I'll go over that. Remind me, all right? But I will find it today, later on. But is any other questions? We short on time. It's like if any other questions, we'll get to your questions. The rest of your questions next week. We gotta close the Sabbath service. We went over a little bit, Salakia. But we will definitely go into any questions that I missed. Hey, oh damn! Shout out to Koshab Rakah, raised up to 1,000. Get that brother a hand. Right? Officer Ba'ashman Lawyer, get that brother a hand. Brother got raised up to 1,000. Good night. Brothers, well deserved, man. Really good brothers, man. I remember Koshab from, he was a young man. Ooh-wee. What's high in Christ like? All right, so just go read Genesis, those few chapters, all right? Read, that's what brothers and sisters that watch, go read those chapters, and the next week come with your questions, all right? Because we're going to go over more of this. We're going to get to Genesis 30 and the tension, and explain the tension between Rachel and Leah, handmaidens and children, and who had who. I didn't want to go into it too early, but for the sake of the question, I went into it. Who had who, right? But I'll be asking you who had who next week. I'm gonna call Parak. You gonna be here next week? I'm gonna have him on speaker. I'm like, who is Issachar's mother? All right. So let me see. Lord, bless. One. You handle the instant. I just handle it. Come. So I might jump. Brothers up here. Close those Bibles for me, please. I don't want them to. I don't want to stain them with wine. Alright, sorry, face me. Sorry. Extend. La Yashrala.
La Yasrala.
Sorry, face me. Sorry. 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 Alright, Mighty Weapon Yakudam. Which means to stand and face the east. Let me see. Yeah, I went over Salakia. I didn't mean to keep y'all that long. Next time, give me a time check, like hour and 50 in, all right?
Come.
All right, I appreciate it too. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. I'll say the prayer in Hebrew. Priest Parak will say the prayer in English. All right? Say it to the best of your ability. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'ah, Matzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Hayah, Shemayim, Lanawa, Kam, Yawam, Salaklanawa, Wathnawa, Wathnawa, Messiah one, Ball, Mayan, Rai, Laka, Malakwa, Allah, Para, Lamyam, Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Babakushai, Danlanau, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makalat, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Matazarayim, Hakak, Mahaquayim, Hakak, Isle, Rakawat, Tamala, Garashan, Yahushai, the water,
Amen. The power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. It's like the power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
The
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power
to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
We go into the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Yahushai.
Allah Hayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawat Yahana. Alawapyum. Yasuranyum. Hakwatazayunyum. Hakayayoyum. Wahakwathyum. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Aman. Why not to
Come. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121. Asha'a, Ayanya, all, Hayam, Mayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Ratazah, Yadun, Lamawat, Magalka, all, Yanawam, Shamarka, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashem, Shawamar, Sharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Yad, Yawamum, Shamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Yahweh, Shamarka, Paul, Rai, Yashamar, Napaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wa'aka, Aida, I will learn.
The Psalms 121st chapter in English. I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel.
he that keepeth Israel
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time forth.
from this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Lashawan Kodash, the holy time. Allahayim,
Allahayim,
all,
Yamayah, Lakah,
all,
Bakarat,
all,
Nashakwat,
all,
Kaya,
Hana,
Awiyagika, Yahamayawa, Wa'ash, Hamukah, Ya'ayamwa, Sawadah, Yayatazawa, Tazapawanyaka, Abarawa, Lakawa, Manakakida, Magalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham, Yasharala, Abudah, Kaya, Noah, Atazawa, Baba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Baya, Yakarath, Aya, Adawam, Wa, Yashmael, Abba, Hagaria, Babal, I'm Malak, Palashah, I'm Yashab, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Halawa, Imam, Ayawa, Zarwai, Labanya, the Wat, Salah,
Aisha,
Laham, Kamanya, Asayah, Sarah, Kayabya, the Call, Yashua, Shamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Haira, Kazaba, Katazal, Lana, Call, Sayakwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Irisha, Wanawa, Nawa, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Gogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rakah, Daradama, Irak, Babasa, Wapatka, Bahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Konyawan, Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Ayai, Waya, Parwa, Abadwa, Waya, Aiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shumka, Yahweh, Abadka, Ayuan, Al-Kal, Haratazah.
The Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy
And
people
consulted against thine hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
and let us cut them off from being a
That
nation.
the name of Israel may be no more remembered.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one
They
consent.
are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Cabal. And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with
They have
them.
hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kasan.
At the brook of Kasan.
Which perished that endured.
Which perished that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zaeb.
And like Zaeb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Zamunah.
And as Zamunah.
Who said,
Let
us take to ourselves.
Let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As they stumble before the
As
wind.
the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the
And
wood.
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
It's like that men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone is Yahweh.
So like,
Whose name alone
is Yahweh.
is Yahweh.
Are the most high.
Are the most high
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
hold on. Say 18 again.
Come. That men may know that thou.
That men may know that thou,
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
is Yahweh.
is Yahweh,
Are the most high.
are the most high
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Feel me, bro?
Kind of one concert.
Sorry, Fisher.